सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा माता जी प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्णा माताजी दंडवत प्रणाम। Share this. You can see?
Yes, Mataji, we can see.
Yes. Oh, anyone can read the first para?
Yes, Mataji. May I?
Okay. Yes, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Another impediment is prajalpa, unnecessary talking. When we mix with a few friends, we immediately begin unnecessary talking, sounding just like croaking toads. If we must talk, we should talk about the Krishna consciousness movement. Those outside of the Krishna consciousness movement are interested in reading heaps of newspapers, magazines, and novels, solving crossword puzzles, and doing many other nonsensical things. In this fashion, people simply waste their valuable time and energy. In the Western countries, old men retired from active life play cards, fish, watch television, and debate about useless socio political schemes. All these and other frivolous activities are included in the Prajalpa category. Intelligent persons interested in Krishna consciousness should never take part in such activities.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji.
Okay,
Thank you, Mataji. Anyone else can read?
Hare Krishna Mataji, shall I?
Yes, Mataji.
Janasangha refers to associating with persons not interested in Krishna consciousness. One should strictly avoid such association. Srila Narottama Das Thakur has therefore advised us to live only in the association of Krishna conscious devotees. Bhakta Sane Vasa. One should always engage in the service of the Lord in the association of Lord's devotees. Association with those engaged in a similar line of business is very conducive to advancement in that business. Consequently, materialistic persons form various associations and clubs to enhance their endeavors. For example, in the business world, we find such institutions as the Stock Exchange and the Chamber of Commerce. Similarly, we have established the International Society for Krishna Consciousness to give people an opportunity to associate it with those who have not forgotten Krishna. This spiritual association offered by our ISKCON movement is increasing day by day. Many people from different parts of the world are joining this society to awaken their dormant Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, Kusuma Mataji, you can read the next paragraph, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura writes in his Anuvritti commentary that too much endeavor to acquire knowledge on the part of the mental speculators or dry philosophers falls within the category of atyahara, collecting more than needed. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, the endeavor of philosophical speculators to write volumes of books on dry philosophy, devoid of Krishna consciousness, is entirely futile. The work of karmis who write volumes of books on economic development also falls within the category of atyahara. Similarly, those who have no desire for Krishna consciousness and who are simply interested in possessing more and more material things, either in the shape of scientific knowledge or monetary gain, are all included under the control of Atyahara. Thank you,
Yes.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So we read about uh, Prajalpa, and here also what is mentioned that we are not supposed to uselessly talk, right? We are not supposed to uh, criticize and gossip about others, which is simply waste of time, or which is again misusing of the time. So Prabhupada is giving what analogy here is of croaking toads. So we learnt about the croaking toads even in the text one, right? What is it about? What is this analogy is about? Anyone can tell?
Hare Krishna Mataji,
Hare Krishna,
talking
yes.
something unnecessary beyond which will hinder our spiritual growth, bhakti.
Yeah. What was this analogy on the croaking of toads? Yes, Padma Mataji.
Mataji, what I understand is when the mm, when the when the frog croaks, he attracts the snakes, and the snakes come and swallow them.
Yeah. So that was the analogy given that unnecessary talks will put us into danger. Like giving the analogy of croaking toads, when it starts croaking, it attracts the snake and so it will be killed. So that is what is been mentioned of the analogy here. And Prabhupada gives what is other than talking, other than uselessly wasting time, other than criticizing and gossip. So we know about criticizing, so it can be among devotees also, that he mentions about unhealthy comparisons. So like it can be related to any service. Why is this service given to that Mataji? Why not me? I'm a senior devotee. Why it is given for a junior Mataji? Like that, there is always an unhealthy comparison, and we are criticizing the devotees also. So even after coming to Krishna conscious, we are still in that conditioned state, but we need to avoid this tendency of criticizing or even sometimes finding faults when we are doing services in the temple and we are in the same line. I can do much better than her, or something like that, the comparison, or she has not done it properly, right? We try to tend to find faults or criticize devotees. So so here Prabhupada also mentions that even after coming to Krishna conscious, we need to be careful. We need to be in that servant mood. We are not supposed to find out any faults or criticize. If you are knowing the devotee very well, if you have a very good relationship with the devotee, and if you want to help him to progress or her to progress, then that way, without hurting their ego, you can tell them anything for their progress, and not just for to show off our own ego. We are not supposed to find faults or criticize them. So it is going to hinder our own devotional process. So in one of the lectures I heard that there is a tendency among us, um, that any prasad, whatever is prepared at home or in the temple, we have a tendency to tell it's not good, right? But what is prasadam? It is the mercy of the Lord. So we need to honor the prasadam. So in, I think Radhesham Prabhu was mentioning that if the prasadam is good or not, we are not supposed to talk about it or discuss about it. So those things of talking also comes under prajalpa. Why he was mentioning about this is, when we start talking about mundane things, like every time we keep commenting on the prasadam made, like the negative comments, not the positive comments, the negative comments about prasad or anything, whatever, about any other services or anything related, if we are trying to find out every time the faults, it is like talking about some mundane things, and our mind gets absorbed in that. So our energy and time also gets out, goes out in this talking mundane things, and it is always absorbed in our mind. So the wrong things, the negative things gets absorbed in the mind. So that is uh, why we are not supposed to talk unnecessary things. So this is what he meant. So we are not, and us, and also we see sometimes that we have so much of difficulties. We are in this material world. We are so much conditioned. We are always absorbed in some or the other dualities due to health issues or some other things, right? The dualities are always there in this material world, and we go through it. So we should not vent out too much also. So we get involved in talking of such things also leads to prajalpa. So these are certainly going to affect us. So, and here Prabhupada is mentioning about uh, other things like reading newspapers, magazines, novels, crossword puzzles. All these things are like when you start reading newspaper or you get in some news, you try to find out what exactly was that. You go deeper into that. So that gets absorbed by the mind. And so instead of getting absorbed in Krishna, we are getting absorbed in unnecessary things. So these are all subtle things, but where we can avoid, and how to utilize the time. So like in Western worlds, people play, go fishing. They sit for hours to do that fishing, and mm, playing cards or watching TV, and there is also talk about this socio-political debates. So uh, like whether like something like where it is not necessary at all, right? Whether the egg came first or the chick came first. So all such unnecessary debates you may see around. So such things or arguments or debates we should try to avoid. So that is what here Srila Prabhupada is trying to mention to us by giving the example of socio-political debates. There are so many political things happening, so we may tell this political party is good, that is good, this is bad. So all such unnecessary arguments and useless talks is not going to help us. So what is the solution? We are not supposed to waste valuable time and energy of us. If you want to talk, talk about only Krishna consciousness subjects only. There is so much to speak about. There are so many topics in Srimad Bhagavatam where we can discuss and have a discussion on that, right? So it is better to use our time and energy in talking about Krishna consciousness subjects. So, and only you are interested in intelligent people interested in Krishna consciousness who are very serious in Krishna consciousness will never take part in this unnecessary talking. So that's about Prajalpa. You have anything to share? Anything to add? Hope that is clear, right?
Yes, Mataji, it's clear.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. So the first thing is useless talks.
We should
Then it
avoid.
then it goes to useless arguments, then
Yes.
useless debates, then leading to blasphemy, finding faults, right? Finding
Yes.
faults, then leading to blasphemy of things. So uh, this all comes under Prajalpa, useless talks, argument, debate, fault finding, blasphemy. So we see example of Indra also when blasphemed his guru. He lost all his opulences.
Yes,
He
Mataji.
lost all his fame and things. So we need to be very careful. So in the beginning itself, when we start avoiding useless talks, this will all not go to other level. So all this comes under this prajalpa. So this is a set of habits we should. So what is the solution given here? We should fill our day with Krishna Katha, singing
Yes.
Vaishnava songs, and to avoid rumors and gossips very carefully. So here there comes one more example. Like the best example in Srimad Bhagavatam is Jada Bharat, where he did not bother about anyone, right? He was honored and dishonored, like he was tolerating everyone. Uh, so we can see in case of Jada Bharat, where whatever happened, he did not open his mouth at all. So he did not go into any arguments or anything, right? So at last he was at least protected by Kali Devi only when he was been tried to be killed. So that's all about Prajalpa. Yeah, and like uh, there's one more example. Like if there is fire in the house in one of the rooms, and there is in the middle of the room there is one ladder which takes you out of the house and out from the fire, and somebody when you're just stepping on that what is that ladder, somebody just tries to dishonor you or just criticize you. Are you going to go out of the house, or you are going to reply back to that criticism? What are
Go
you
out
going
of
to
the
do?
house.
Go out of the house, right?
Yes.
That is intelligence. So similarly, we are in this material world. Our goal is to come out of this material world, and the ladder where it is an analogy of going back to the spiritual world. So when we are in this material world, we will be criticized. There will be honor and dishonor. So there will be dualities of the material world. So what are we supposed to do? We are only supposed to tolerate and focus on coming out of the house, like coming out of this material world. So our focus should be only on that. So and because we are in this material world, we will be going through all type of dualities, dishonor, honor, all such things. So but we should not get carried away by that. Our goal only should be to get bhakti and get out of this material world. Yeah, so we'll go ahead.
So
So
try to
that
be in association of Krishna conscious devotees.
yes, exactly,
Yeah.
Mataji. So that is what comes in the next paragraph.
Okay,
Jana
fine, fine.
Sangha. Jana
Okay.
Sangha. So we should not associate with non-devotees. We should always associate with Krishna conscious devotees. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, uh, no, no, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, he tells, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells to his associates, that he never wants to associate with non-devotees. He
Yes.
tells them that you lock me in a cage and put it to fire. I don't mind burning into the ashes. It is better for me not to associate with non-devotees than getting burned over here. So this comes in some, not exactly in Chaitanya Charitamrita, but he mentions this. This comes in some Katyani uh, scripture somewhere. But yeah, so that is about how important it is to associate with devotees in Krishna conscious. So how bad it is, how association with non-devotees is not good. So how much serious it is, so we can understand by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's that statement. So whom and all we should not associate with. So so we should always take association of pure devotees and keep company with them. In third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam also it is mentioned. I'll share that 1 minute. We can read that. Just a minute. I'm opening it. 23:55. You're able to see this?
Yes, Mataji, we can
Yes,
see.
Mataji.
Yeah.
Yes,
And if anyone of you can recite this?
Shall I, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, Swati Mataji.
Sango yasmu samsmrतेर्हेतुर् असस्तु विहितो adhya saeva sadhu sakruto nisangatva kalpate. Sorry, Mataji, it is not in tune.
You can read the translation?
Yes, Mataji. Association for sense gratification is certainly the path of bondage, but same type of association performed with saintly person leads to the path of liberation, even if performed without knowledge.
Yeah. So it's a very strong statement. The same type of association performed with a saintly person leading to path of liberation, even when it is performed without knowledge. So anyone can read the purport. It's a short purport.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Uma Mataji.
Yes, the association of a saintly person in any way bears the same result. For example, Lord Krishna met many kinds of living entities, and some treated him as an enemy, and some treated him as an agent for sense gratification. It is generally said that the gopis were attached to Krishna for sense attractions, and yet they became first-class devotees of the Lord Kamsa. Kamsa, Shishupala, Dantavaktra, and other demons, however, were related to Krishna as enemies. But whether they associated with Krishna as enemies or for sense gratification, Out of fear or as pure devotees, they all got liberation. That is the result of association with the Lord. Even if one does not understand who he is, the results have the same efficacy. Association with a great saintly person also results in liberation, just as whether one goes toward fire knowingly or unknowingly, the fire will make the one warm. Devahuti expressed her gratefulness for although she wanted to associate with Kadamba Muni only for sense gratification because he was spiritually great, she was sure to be liberated by his benediction. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So here in the purport, we see they have given a example of Kamsa, Shishupal, Dantavakra, and other demons. So in case of Kamsa, when he has heard that Krishna is going to kill him, the eighth child of Devaki, so what was the conscience of Kamsa? Oh, he's Krishna is going to kill me. Krishna is going to kill me. So that consciousness was filled on Krishna only. Oh, he is going to kill me. I should. He was trying to make ways out how he can kill Kamsa, Krishna over there. So here, uh, his consciousness, even though he was only wanted Krishna to be killed, what was his consciousness when he was sleeping or when he was eating? It is mentioned that he used it to seek Krishna everywhere. Oh, he has come to kill me, he has come to kill me. I should find a way out to get myself saved. So that was the consciousness of Kamsa. So here, out of fear or as pure devotees, they all got liberation. So even without our knowledge, when we are with a saintly person, in that association also can lead us to path of liberation. So how important it is the association of a saintly person, whether it is the Lord or the pure devotees, it matters for us. So this is one verse where we can know about that. Then there is one more thing, uh, where it is mentioned about not to associate with whom? Bhukti, Mukti, and Siddhi, Kames. So, who are they? So, usually we are told not to associate with Mayavadis. Why? Because they simply blaspheme Vaishnavas. So, you may hear some videos or see in YouTube. So, we should be careful when someone is blaspheming, or we are not supposed to hear that, because if we are new to Krishna conscious and someone blasphemes some devotees, like the outside people, someone blasphemes the devotees, what happens? We feel, oh, we get the wrong imposition on our mind about that person, right? Oh, he is like this, he is like that. So that impression keeps over there. And slowly, what happens? We also tend to blaspheme that Vaishnavas. So we have to be careful here. So that is why we have to keep away ourselves from those who blaspheme the Vaishnavas, like the Mayavadis. So, and Prabhupada mentions about not to associate with Bhukti, Mukti, and Siddhi Kamis. So, who are they? So bhukti kames means who are interested only in material happiness, only in acquiring material things, uh, like money and all other things. Like they are only attracted to fame, name, right? So, and getting only the money. So those come under bhukti kames. Then the mukti kames, these are better than the mukti kames, because mukti kames, what they want is, uh, they desire liberation, but how? Just by merging in the existence of the absolute. Their knowledge is about the Lord is, they are formless, the Lord is formless. So they only think about merging in the existence. And the Siddhi Kames, they desire perfection. So what they do? They uh, perform lot of mystic yoga practices. So we don't associate with all the three. And coming to the materialistic people, uh, there are stock markets, materialistic clubs, chamber of commerce, where the materialistic endeavor is so much that when we go over there, we tend to also become like that. So, so best is not to get associated with such people. Uh, and one more point is where we should go and associate only with devotees. So what happens? We can progress very fastly in Krishna conscious. So that is the thing. In fourth canto also, uh, in fourth canto, there are very nice verses from 30th chapter. पारिजातञ्जसे लब्धे शरङ्गो न्यान्न सेवते त्वदङ्घ्रिमूलम् असाध्य साक्षात् किं वृणीमहि. So in this is comes, I'm not able to open it fastly. This is in fourth canto of 30th chapter and 32, 33, 34. So all this speaks about uh, Janasanga, like whom we should be associating with. So in this verse, Parijata Anjase Labado Charango. So here, what it mentions is in the purport, when a bee has quickly come to the Parijata tree, it does not go elsewhere anywhere for tasting. So having directly attaining the lotus feet of the Lord, what else we can pray for? So that is the analogy given. Just a second, I'm trying to open it. Yeah, anyone can recite this?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. You're able to see, right? Hopefully.
One minute.
Yes, Mataji.
पारिजातेञ्जाशालब्धे सारङ्गोऽन्यान्न सेवते त्वत्वाङ्घ्रिमूलम् आशात्य साक्षात् किं वृणीमहि. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
You can read the translation, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji, translation. Dear Lord, when the bee approaches the celestial tree called the Parijata, it certainly does not leave the tree because there is no need for such action. Similarly, when we have approached your lotus feet and taken shelter of them, what further benediction may we ask of you? Hare Krishna. Purport, Mataji.
Yeah, Mataji, you can read.
When a devotee is actually engaged in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord, his engagement in itself is so perfect that there is no need to ask for further benediction. When a bee approaches the Parijata tree, it gets unlimited supplies of honey. There is no need to go to another tree. If one is fixed in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord, there is unlimited transcendental bliss, and as such, there is no need to ask for further benediction. The Parijata tree is not commonly found within this material world. The Parijata tree is also known as Kalpavriksha. are the wish fulfilling tree. One can get anything he desires from such a tree. In the material world, one can get oranges from an orange tree or mangoes from a mango tree. But there is no possibility of getting oranges from a mango tree or vice versa, orange tree. Or mangoes from a mango tree, but there is no possibility of getting oranges from a mango tree or vice versa. However, one can get whatever he wants from the Parijata tree, oranges, mangoes, bananas, and so on. This tree is found in the spiritual world. Chintamani, Prakara,
Chintamani
Satmasu,
Prakara
Satmasu,
Sadmashu
Kalpavriksha,
Kalpavriksha
Lakshveshwase.
Lakshaprakapate.
The spiritual world, Sintamani Dhama, is surrounded by this Kalpavriksha tree. But the Parijata tree is also found in the kingdom of Indra, that is on Indra, heavenly planet. The Parijata tree was brought by Krishna to please Satyabhama, one of his queens, and this tree was implanted in the Dwaraka mansions constructed for the queens. The lotus feet of the Lord are exactly like the Parijata trees are wish fulfilling trees, and the devotees are like bumblebees. There are always Mataji, little scroll Mataji. Hare Krishna. Up. Okay. Attracted by the lotus feet of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah. So here what we can learn actually is the importance of the devotees, how they are always attracted by the lotus feet of the Lord. So, why I am showing this verse is to know the importance of devotees. So, when we understand the importance of the devotees, we will always hanker to be in only in the association of devotees. So, what happens usually is uh, like when we are among devotees, we tend to criticize or we tend to find faults, or sometimes some devotees who are little not matured enough, they tend to leave the association just because of some issues or some things. They leave the association of devotees and slowly they go out of Krishna conscious. But here what we need to understand is it is better that we tolerate the devotees and be in the devotee association than going out and being with the materialistic people. So sometimes we know we are still conditioned, we have not become perfect, right? So we need to tolerate you, and little being little more matured and little being more smart, you can always do a little better dealings with devotees. So, so the importance of devotees is very much needed for us, and so it is better to be in the association of devotees than going out. Okay, so in this Jana Sangha, we learned about that, and one more point is, yeah, we have always need to be associating with devotees, and yeah, and the Mayavadis, the Bhukti Kamis, the Mukti Kamis, all of them will come under uh, this, especially the Bhukti Kamis, those who are interested in material happiness, they always come under Atyaharis. So we'll go again and find out. Uh, yeah, one more point is there may have a question for many of you, many of us, right? Like, uh, we are working, most of you may be working, we will be in office, or we are grihastas, we are in a society of surrounded by materialistic people. But here, one of the books, Bhaktivinoda Thakur mentions that bathing in the same ghat or traveling in the same boat is not called as sangha or not called as association, because you may be taking bath in the same ghat, right? For example, if you are bathing in the ghat, the person may be bathing in the opposite side of you and you are bathing on this side of the ghat. You may not know each other, you may not speak to each other also, right? So there is no association as such. Even in the office area, you may be working with them, but you are not associating with them. When will you associate? When they start speaking about things which is non-interest for you, or if they speak nonsense, some half-baked truth we tell. So we should not associate at that time. We should quickly be sharp enough and be a little smart enough to not mingle with them. Instead of that, what we can do, we need to give our association. What we have read in Bhagavatam, we need to tell about the stories from the Bhagavatam, glories of the Lord, glories of the holy name, or give them some small books if they are favorable enough. If they are not favorable, if they criticize, so it is that better to stay away and only speak related with the office work and nothing else. So that is how we can be, we need not make association in such places. And but still we can still be little uh, compassionate for them, because they are also suffering in the material world. So you can give them your association by providing them books or telling them about Krishna. If they are not ready to hear you, or if they tend to offend, then don't tell them or keep away from them. That's it. So so that is how you can make association and give association. And I think go back to the last paragraph what we read. Yeah. Yeah. So in this last paragraph in Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur talks about the Anuvriti commentary. So again, what and all Atyahara we learnt in the first verse, in the first second verse, second text. In that first line we spoke about Atyahara, right? What and all comes under Atyahara there?
Eating more than required. Eating more than required, Mataji.
Yeah. Then
And collecting things also more than required.
Prajalpa.
yeah, Prajalpa is a different topic, Prabhuji. So what I was asking was, like I'll go back. Here there are 6 categories: Atyahara, Prayasa, Prajalpo, Niyamagraha is the 4th. And then Janasanga cha, Laulyam cha. So these are the 6 categories. Eating more than necessary or collecting more funds than required is what Atyahara. Over endeavoring is Prayasa. Prajalpo is talking unnecessary things. Niyamagraha is practicing the rules and regulations. There are 2 things in that. One is rejecting and one is accepting only for the sake of spiritual advancement. And then we learnt about Janasanga, that is not to associate with non-devotees and associate with the devotees. And the last one is Laulyam. So Laulyam we'll see in the next classes. Now here again he speaks about, Prabhupada gives about Atyahara. So other than collecting more than required money or eating more than necessary, Prabhupada here Bhaktivinoda in he not Bhaktivinoda, sorry, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur commentary is mentioning that even acquiring knowledge about mental speculators or dry philosophers, they all fall under the category of Atyahara. So people unnecessarily to know more, they go beyond the philosophy which is too dry, which is not required to know. When see, everything is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. So try to read that, analyze that, understand that, put it into practice. So instead of that, if we go to acquire some other things, so they all come under the category of atyahara. So yeah, here it is mentioned. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, the endeavor of philosophical speculators to write volumes of books on dry philosophy devoid of Krishna consciousness is entirely futile. So, other than Krishna consciousness, if you try to write volumes on some other philosophies, which is not required at all, it also comes under Atyahara. And we see also people write so many novels or uh, imaginary stories, no, right? So many imaginary storybooks comes over, which people go crazy to read that. So it is not required of all such books. So all of that comes under the category of atyahara. And here again, those who have no desire for Krishna conscious and they are only interested in possessing more and more things. So it can be in the shape of scientific knowledge or monetary gain. So all comes under the control of atyahara. So here it is only desiring money because they feel that money can buy everything they can enjoy. So here it is also only that most of the people come under two things. What? Acquiring money and subtle sex. So what do you mean by subtle sex? Other than fulfilling the sense gratification, there is something called a subtle sex. What is that? That is about having status or fame, right? So they get attracted to people who are in that line, who are having huge cars, huge houses. Their status way of living is very high, status is very high, so people get attracted to that. So even they also want their lives to be in that, so their aim is also like that. So like social, prestige, fame, all such things come under subtle sex. So most of the materialistic people come under acquiring money and subtle sex. So and they and come under the control of atyara. So that is why Prabhupada usually tells simple living and high thinking. So what is required, how much is required, that will be provided by the Lord. So whatever Krishna is providing you, be happy with that and lead your material life and include all your other time in knowing about Krishna, reading Bhagavatam, discussing about Bhagavatam. So that is comes under higher thinking. So that's all about the Atyahara over here. So hope this we discussed in short of Prajalpa and Janasanga and some more topics of Atyahara category. Hope that is clear. Any more questions or anything you want to share? You can share.
Mataji, yesterday, sorry, yesterday this Mataji, she told us a short example about Atyachara. She said that
Atyahara.
when there's a sack of Atyaharya, that she
Okay.
said that when there's a sack of rice, when the birds see, they'll come and eat a few grains, how much ever required. But then these people, when they see the sack of rice, they'll look here and there, and then they lift the whole sack and go. So that is taking too much more than necessary. She just showed the difference. That also comes in Atyachar.
Atyahar.
Atyahar,
Yes,
sorry,
Mataji.
Atyahar.
Yes, Mataji. Because you might have heard about people's acquiring more than necessary, the so much acquiring that it is enough for their sons, grandsons also, right?
Yes, yes.
So we have Rupa Goswami's that money should be divided in how much is required for us, how much is required for future. Also, he tells in that part, that division of the money and other things needs to be given as for charity. So when we provide charity, it also helps us. So we are helping to print books or build temples or for supporting for preparing prasadam. So all this way we can always give charity. So that is the way you can utilize if you are provided with lot of money. Like some who are born rich, they don't, even if they are earning, if parents and other things, if it is too many, you can always utilize it in the service of Krishna. So whatever you have, if you should be utilizing it in the service of Krishna. So then it won't come under Atyara. So anything else, Mataji's or Prabhuji's?
Mataji, about the charity also, I heard somewhere they said charity also, when you give, don't give blindly. You must think whom to give, where to give, and when to give.
Yes, Mataji.
So
This come under
when
Bhagavad Gita, the mode of charity, mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. So
Mataji, when to give? Can you explain that? When to give? When means time. You have to see the time or something,
no,
or is
Mataji,
it,
not.
on good occasions like
Yeah,
Janmashtami,
that
Gaurav
helps.
Puja?
Yeah, that helps. But you should be seeing that wherever you are giving the source. If you give it to a person who tells he will, if he uses it for his own sense gratification, then we are giving
Yeah,
it
that's right. Yeah.
in the wrong place. So we need to find out, yes, here it has been utilized in the service of the Lord only. So in such places we can always give charity. So that comes under the mode of goodness. Suppose, for example, if a person comes begging to you and you give him the money and he goes and utilizes it for intoxication or smoking,
Yeah, yes, Mataji, yes.
so that is not a
Then,
good way of charity. So instead of
then we get
that,
the karma, no?
you also get the karma, he will also get it. So if for at that such situations when they keep coming begging, you give them prasad. So that is why we are told to carry some dry prasad with us. So whoever comes, you just give them dry prasad instead of giving them money. It is better to avoid giving money to the beggars, whatever situation they may be. Sometimes they, like I have seen this, like I have not given the money. Like I was standing in the, like not standing, I was in a auto in a traffic. Okay, so the signal goes for a longer time, so I was in the traffic and I see a beggar coming in front of other vehicles. I'm sitting in the auto, I can just visualize what he's doing. So he was begging, like in front of me, one more auto was there. He was begging, and I can hear it also. He was telling that he has lost everything. He was been taken away money, everything, and he does not have any money to go back home, and he has not eaten for 2 3 days. And um so he will act in such a way that uh, you will feel mercy towards him. Oh, yeah, you will feel so much sympathy for that person who he has not eaten, because he will act in such a way only. And then what I see is that person, whoever was that there in that auto, he gave the money to him, and immediately the expression on his face changed and he immediately ran away from that place, right? He just passed away from our auto and went to the other side of the road. So, person will also cheat like this. So, we are giving it to the wrong person at such times. Yes. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So, we'll end here. I think there
Hare
may be
Krishna.
some other session also. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
Thank
so
you,
much.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna
pranam.
Mataji.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat pranam.